Hi, happy you could join me today on this beautiful day. I hope it's a beautiful day wherever you're at. What I got going here is a canvas size of 16 by 20, and it's covered with a thin coat of liquid white. And throughout this painting, any information and all the colors will come right across the screen right about here. What I thought we might do today is something different, maybe a big waterfall coming down with some trees, maybe some mountains in the background. So let's get started. What I did was I loaded it with a 2-inch brush, a thin coat of liquid white. That's to prepare the canvas for the wet on wet technique that I do. So what we're going to do is we're going to start out with some sky color, some dark phthalo blue, Prussian blue. Mix it right on the brush on both sides, just like that. We'll start out in the corners using crisscross strokes. Load up some more paint. This side, I'd like it to be a darker look. This get lighter as it goes down to the horizon like it does in nature. Maybe we'll make this darker here. Leave some light areas because that's going to give you a texture of the sky and sometimes the clouds without even making any. Just here and there and there and here. Now I'm going to take this blender brush and I'm going to blend it in. I'm going to start out down here where we have the liquid white and just going to blend it in where I don't pick up a lot of the darker hues and the darker colors. And we're going to start creating the sky and maybe how you think it might look in nature with all your textures and your clouds happening. Just blending it in. Here and there and there and here. Get all that different things happening in the sky. Just like the way it would look in nature. And once you start oil painting, you'll check things out more in the sky. You'll see things that maybe you didn't see before or you wasn't really looking for. And maybe we'll come right down here because down here I think right about in this line right here we might have the big waterfall coming in. But like I said, we're going to put some mountains back here. Just like that. And you always want to step back and you get a different look, different angle. I'm going to knock off some of the excess. You can either use paper towels or a rag. I use both. Okay, since we're going to do that, I'm going to start putting that mountain in. One of the mountains. I'm using a mixture of phthalo blue, Prussian blue, and like a alizarin crimson to get almost like a purple color. Get a little roll of paint. And up here we're going to decide where we want our mountain to be. What we want it to start. You always want to off-center. It just makes it a better look for the paintings. You off-center and you always do odd numbers. So I'm going to start out right about here right like that. Maybe it's going to be a steep mountain. All we're worried about right now is that top edge. We don't care what's going on below it. So we're going to blend that in and put the snow in, make a Snowcap mountain. Make a big mountain. Just like that. Just here and there and there and here. Maybe this one comes over right about there. See, I had a little bit too much on here, so what I did was I tapped it on there. I knew I was going to take it off anyways. That's some little things that you might be able to do, you might learn as you go along. Different tricks of the trade. And we're going to just come right along here. I think just like that for now. Now we're going to take a 2-inch brush and we're going to pull down and get the angles and the lay of the mountain. Pull all that excess away and blend it right down like the way it would look in nature, because it always looks kind of cloudy or hazy at the base of the mountains. That gives it that real look. And that's the look we're looking for, because like I've said in my other videos, we're just trying to create an illusion on what it would look like. And we'll put it right down here. Here and there and there and here. Get that effect that we're looking for. See, maybe by pulling that line out right there, it pushed that other one back automatically. Clean the brush off. Now we're going to come back in. And we're going to start highlighting some snowy areas. I'm going to take that palette knife again and load it up with some titanium white. We're going to load it up with a roll of paint. And we're going to determine maybe where our light source is coming from. Now it looks like it's lighter on this angle here. So that's where we're going to see most of the snow. All I'm going to do is tap. Tap it down. Barely touching. Let it roll off. Clean off your brush because you picked up some of that color from the mountain. Get the roll of paint again. Maybe where you might want it a little darker, tap it some more. Barely touching. Get all those breaks in there, and that's what we're looking for. Gives it that real effect of what it would look like on a snow-capped mountain. Maybe you didn't see much on this one here. Just tap it right there. Maybe that's all you see there. Maybe on the top of that one. Grabbing some more titanium white. Just like that. Looks pretty good so far. You don't want to be too critical on yourself. You don't want to keep going over things because you tend to end up making a mistake that way. When you see something and it looks good, just leave it. Don't go back and say, I could do a little better, because for the most part, I've done that before and it really didn't turn out better. I brought that one a little bit this way more. Give it more of an edge on there. Okay, some of this I'm going to leave dark, some of it I might highlight a little bit, and with the highlight we're going to take some of that the phthalo blue and some whites, maybe some titanium white. Phthalo blue, titanium white. Kind of give it a marbly look, kind of a shadow. A little roll of paint. And maybe we'll do some shadowing over here, just touching it like we did. Here and there. Don't want a lot of it. Just where you might think you might get some shadows. A little bit more. Maybe over here there might be just a little bit. Just tapping it. But not everywhere. You want to leave some of it dark. Gives it that texture. What I see is I think I want a little bit more snow up here. So I'm going to come in and tap it. Let the canvas take what it wants. And it kind of gives you the rest. Just like that. I like that area right there because that's a little bit of a break, like it could be a deeper, like a crevice. And it happened automatically. We didn't have to do anything. It just happens. And that's the good thing. Now what we're going to do is take that blender brush again and we're going to blend it out. And we're going to haze the bottom of the mountain. And pay attention to the way the mountains, the lay of the mountain is, the angles. You want to tap it the same way. Gives it that look of maybe there's trees going up the mountain. It also gives it that hazy look that we're looking for. That's all there is to it. All the way. Who knows? It goes off to wherever. Off in the distance, just like that, you get that misty look. Clean off your brush again, all the excess. What we're going to do now is we're going to come up with some evergreen trees. And we're going to use some liquid clear. Kind of thins out your paint, because a thin paint will stick to a thick paint every time. Put a load of fan brush up, little fan brush. I'm going to load some sap green and phthalo green. So I'm going to get some evergreen trees going in the distance. In a distance. I'm going to load the brush up. I wipe some of it off because what I'm going to do is I'm going to get the angles of the trees. Just tapping down. Hope you can see that. Almost like scraping. Or you can pull up. If that's easier to see or easier to do, you can get the evergreen trees going that way too. And you can get them going at different heights. Because some of them are taller than other ones. What we want happening back here is a forest. A forest of trees. Maybe they go up. Maybe they go up real high over here. Just like that. Put up a little bit more color. And maybe what we'll do is we'll put some over here. Taller ones. I think what we're going to do is we're going to change that a little bit. Make it taller and then go smaller this way. Just fill all this in. Make them different heights. Different colors. Leave spaces in between. Just the way you might think it looks in nature. Next time you're out and you look, you might notice things a little different. You'll kind of know what you're looking for now. I'm going to put some taller ones here. Who knows? Darker here and there. Just like that. Now what we're going to do is take the blender brush or the 2-inch brush, and we're going to tap this and give it that misty look like we did on the mountain. Here and there and there and here. Kind of want to blend it in. Kind of want to keep those distances where you got that mist there. That gives you the layers. Each layer you do, you mist it, and it gives you another layer. All I'm doing is tapping. I'm trying to get that misty look, but I'm also trying to blend it in and give it that. You can go up a little bit on the trees because they're going to be further off and you're not going to be able to see too much of them. You could also add a little bit of titanium white, a little bit of liquid white, and that might give you a little bit of your mist you're looking for. A little bit more tapping. I hope you've seen that, because when I put it on there, it gave it that misty look right away. Now you can take some of this and pull it up. Kind of blends it in more. Gives it more of a look of, there's a forest back there. Just keep tapping. We got that happening. Now we're going to start with the line, and I'm going to come in. We're going to make our waterfall. So I'm going to use a darker color on the little roll of paint and a palette knife. And I think right here, is where we're going to bring our waterfall in. What I'm doing is I'm loading it up this color first, trying to get the line of the waterfall. It's got to be just like we did the mountain. We're pulling this down, but what we want to do is get the dark look first. Take the 2-inch brush, we're going to pull it down, and then we're going to highlight it with the waterfall coming down. Pull it down, because we want that dark behind it. It's going to help pull that water and make it look like the water's rushing down, coming off the bank there. Okay, now I'm going to take a fan brush, load it up with titanium white. more liquid white. We're going to get the water line going, the waterfall. Just like that. Now we're going to determine how we want our waterfall to come. Just like that, over the edge. Just tapping it and pulling it and giving it that look of where that highlight would be. Loading it up again with the same colors, since I already started that. Tapping it again. Y'all, if you've seen some of my oil paintings before in my lessons with the waves, this is kind of like the same thing. Just pulling it down, getting more white on there. Titanium white, liquid white. Here and there. Just letting it break. Letting it come off the fan brush. Got some action going on there. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to get some of that dark color. I'm going to pull in some land down here, some water line. Right where the water might be hitting. And you always want to kind of mist it up, because when you put the light colors in, it's going to give you that misty look of a waterfall hitting, splashing, and getting all that cloudy stuff going on. Maybe it goes right up. Just tapping it. Just like that. Now we're going to load up that 2-inch brush with this titanium white and liquid white. And we're going to do that same type of tapping to get the waterfall, the misty look. The misty look of the water hitting. If you notice that's what happened. You put that light color on, the dark color, the light color goes over it, automatically gives you that look without you even doing a whole bunch. I'm going to take this blender brush now and just with the tip of it kind of blend it in a little bit, just a little bit, almost like you're doing the clouds, taking away some of the sharp edges, but you're also giving it that look that you would see in the water. There's some dark areas, some light areas. Just go across, just like that. Looks pretty good. Okay, clean the brush off. We're going to come in now, I'm going to put some land in here. We're going to use the same purple color on your palette knife. We're going to make kind of like mountains, but we're going to put ledges in. So we're going to put one right there. Maybe that comes up. That comes up just like that. Maybe on the other side. Comes over in front of that one. Here and there and there and here. We're going to blend that in like we did in the mountains, pull it down, and then highlight it on different areas where you might think that you would have some of the highlights. This is really going to be cliffy here because of the waterfall. Maybe there'll be another ledge there. Comes just like that. Big one up here. Just going to fill this in. You notice there I'm leaving that space there, that light that I talked about. We're just going to blend that in. Put some highlights in here and there. So we got something to work off of when we bring that down to the land. Right to where we want the water line to be. Same thing over there. Just like that. Clean the palette knife off, and we're going to come into some of the blended colors. I'm going to take that 2-inch brush we were using for the blending, this one here, and we're going to try to come in here, and we're not going to do too much like we did on the mountain either, just enough to create the illusion. Maybe there's cliffs here. Maybe there's cliffs here, and it goes just like that. Runs right into the water. Maybe this is chopped up over here. Got all kinds of stuff happening. Maybe the edges come down. Just like that. Kind of blend that in a little bit to get it lighter. So what we're going to do is we're going to take some of the dark color. And I always believe that in the nature of the water, the water line is always dark. Almost like a purple right in there. So I'm going to take some of that purple off the 2-inch brush, and I'm going to come down in front of this, and I'm going to make it dark. Dark water line. More dark, dark. Darker there where it gets by the, maybe by the waterfall it's lighter because of the water. The reflection of the water is hitting. So it's giving you that look of the water splashing up. Okay, we got that going on, and now we're going to get the palette knife. And we're going to load it up with some titanium white, liquid white. We don't want to make it too much like a snow, but I guess we could. Same thing over there. The light's coming from this angle, so we're going to highlight some of this, just tapping it. You can determine on how you want your cliffs to go, your crevices. Load it right up there. Maybe this angle you're not going to, maybe you can see this one here too because of the angle. A little bit there. Load up some more paint. kind of takes it off because of the thickness that we got on here. Maybe that comes just down like that. It's got like a little crevice, little cave looking thing. And if you're painting, you can do whatever you'd like. You can make whatever you want. Any crevices, I'm just tapping. Maybe this is here and there. You're not going to see a whole lot of it because of the angle. But yet you still want to see some of it. Where it's breaking. Here and there and there and here. I'm going to clean off the palette knife again, load up some more color. Really make that pop there, just like that. I hope you've seen that. Maybe this came right over here. And the angles and the way you do the stuff, it really creates the painting. Now I'm going to leave some of this color mixed on here, because that might be some of my shading. Since it's darker, I don't want to pull a whole lot off. I'm going to use some of the color that's already on there and pull from the white. I hope you can see that. Just pull down different areas, different angles, different places where you think you might have some shadows. Just pull down from that white. Got all those little things happening. What I see is I need a little bit more white over here on this ledge. I want this ledge to pop a little bit, stand out. Maybe this one comes right down. Right down into the water. Okay, we got that going on. What I'm going to do is I'm going to bring this up higher here. That might be blended in or covered in by the tree or whatever, but that's something that I think that I've seen there. Got the waterfall happening. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to come in and I'm going to grab some of this and start making this land area right here, right where we just about blended it in. I'm going to take some of that and blend that in. Go right to the line of the water. Just like that. Pull it down into who knows where. Because it's got to be, because of the cliff here and everything that's happening, it's got to have that dark look. The dark angles. And what I see is I'm going to put some blue down in here for the sky. Get some blue color happening. Could probably put some blue in there too. Just here and there. get a blue hue to it. Maybe I'm going to put a little bit more. Darker. Mr. Water's always darker. Darker, darker. Just like that. Now we're going to take some of this, we're going to pull it up, get some of that blue into the water, more underneath the waterfall. Just like that. Go across. We're going to do some water lines here, get some water happening. Maybe the beach part is right here. Just like that. Then I'm going to take a fan brush. I'm going to pull from here. I'm going to tap and I'm going to pull down. Since we want it darker right here, right by the edge, right by the water's edge. It's always darker there. Blend that in. Pull down. Get some more paint. Darker. Just tapping it. Just go across and kind of blend it in. So already you got the different layers and everything happening there. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take some brown color, some Van Dyke brown, midnight black. I'll make a little bit of water line here. Where it could be sandy, and that's what we're going to do. Comes right down to the water's edge. Take a little bit of titanium white, mix it in with that brown color, leave it marbly, just like that. And we're going to tap it just like we did with the mountains. Give it that look of things happening, rocks and whatever. I'm going to take that fan brush. Oops. I'm going to take the fan brush, clean it off, and we're going to pull down this brown right at that water line. That's what you'll see. You'll see that reflection in the water. Just a little bit. Just pulling down slightly. leaving that area there where it's glistening, right where the water is. I'm cleaning the brush off now. I use odorless paint thinner, which is always good. Now what we got going on is we're going to put some trees in. We're going to put some evergreen trees in, some bigger ones. So we're using that liquid clear and phthalo green and sap green. We're going to pull all this together now. I'm going to put some more water lines in. I'm going to load the brush up just like that. And I'm going to start out right here. I'm going to put some trees in hanging over, I think. Kind of secluding this in. All I'm doing is tapping. Load some more color up. You always want it darker towards the middle of the trees or towards the base, because that's the way it is in nature. It's got that look to it. You want to leave some spots opening where you got some sky showing through. Some of it's not all filled in. And maybe this comes right down to the, hangs over the mountain maybe. Just like that. We can do that, it's our world. Cleaning the brush off because it picked up some of that purple color. Okay, now I'm going to go to the other side and maybe put some evergreen trees in. Maybe we can put one in right here. Just tapping it down, tapping. Now you can take your brush and pull up, push up, or pull down. I'm going to push up with these. In some of my other classes, my other lessons, I pulled down. Those were a kind of a different tree. Different evergreen trees are different. This one here I'm pushing up and not pushing down. And this one's like right on the ledge. Hope you can see that. Pushing up. Okay, maybe right here is another one. Just like that. Tapping down and then pushing up with the corner of the brush. Leaving a space on top. So a lot of your trees, they don't have branches everywhere. Some of them have been in the weather, being by this waterfall. Maybe it was cold. Maybe it was a cold winter. I just filled that in down there. Trying to fill in the space. And I think we'll put another one right here. Maybe a smaller one. So I got an idea. I might put another tree in similar to that one on this side. So I'm just touching, tapping up, going back and forth. Turn the brush over, tapping up, filling that in. Who knows, maybe this tree goes right down on top of the, just like that. Where it's broken in. It's perfect. Now, I'm going to take some of the color, the green, Van Dyke, Prussian green, sap green, phthalo green. Load it up, and maybe over here there's going to be a tree similar to that, but it's not going to come as much over. Maybe it's going to come down just like that, just a little. Maybe he's just a little tree just growing up. Here and there. We'll fill this in the middle here. But you won't be seeing a lot of that. Just like that. Here and there. Maybe this one comes down. Comes over. Comes over the ledge. Both of them come over the ledge and kind of secluded in. Looking pretty good. Okay, now I'm going to take the blender brush. I'm going to blend some of this in over here where this edge is. I'm going to make it look like it's a misty look. Take that sharp edge off of that. I'm just taking the corner of the brush. Blending all that in. Maybe to where it's all got foamy there. Same thing over here. Taking that edge off. Get that misty look. Okay, now I'm going to come in and throw some water lines in using a palette knife and some titanium white. Little roll of paint right off the edge. I'm going to come in here and where I think the water line would be, right here. Here and there. And just go across. Because that's the way it would look in nature. Getting more paint. Making some lines here and there. That's where you got the water hitting. You got that misty look, you got the stuff happening. Kind of rough over there. Well, we're getting close to a finished painting. I'm going to take this palette knife here and on the edge we're going to scrape in some trees, some branches, because of the colors that we have on there. That liquid white, I hope you can see this at home. It pulls that right off of here. So all you got to do is scrape this in. You got branches, twigs, and everything happening there, and you really didn't have to do much. I think that's a finished painting. I'm going to go ahead and sign it now. I usually sign mine in the corner. I use liner brush and some little bit of a darker color. What I'm doing is getting it thin like ink. And some people sign their names with their initials. Some people use their last name. I like using my last name. Also, you want to put the year down it was painted. Just so if anybody asks, if they look at a painting, that you can just tell them what year it was anyways. But this is a different painting than I've done. This is a bigger waterfall now. And I hope you enjoyed it. I hope it was fun to paint along if that's what you choose to do. And I hope you come back and see me and have a wonderful day. Goodbye.